Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Laymen Daily Show. How are we today, everyone? How's the fam? How are you guys? I want to talk about some news that dropped a couple of days ago, actually, about Xbox, and if they were to be unsuccessful with their appeal, looks like they're going to have to wait a long time if they ever wanted to try again. There's some news, some trailers. I also want to talk about Starfield, because it's not looking good. The track record is not good. So let's get into it, guys. After the drop, let's talk about Xbox and Bethesda. All right. How's everyone in the chat? Salah first, you are first, my friend. JT second, like Xbox. I like that. That's quite good, actually. So look, guys, it hasn't been great for Bethesda. Let's be honest now. Okay, now their upcoming game, of course, is going to be Starfield. Everyone's excited for that. Look, everyone is excited for it, though, right? Like, people want to know that it's going to be good. I mean, people are expecting this to be kind of the major title from Bethesda that we're going to see for some time. We don't really know when Elder Scrolls 6 is coming. All we've seen is a bit of grass and a logo. But what was interesting, actually, as I saw this a couple of days ago, the UK Activision buyout block prevents Microsoft from trying again for 10 years, right? 10 years. So it says here, ultimately, as we know, the Activision buy to Microsoft has been blocked in the UK by the CMA. And it says here that if they are unsuccessful with their appeal, then it's going to be an additional, looks to be 10 years. Now, this is the actual quote. Prohibition would be affected by accepting undertakings under Section 82, which we all know what Section 82 of the Act, or making an order under Section 84 of the Act, prohibiting the merger and preventing the parties from attempting to merge for a further period. Our normal practice would be to prevent a future merger between the parties for the next 10 years, absence of change of circumstances. So that's interesting, right? So if they are unsuccessful with their ability to actually turn the tide here and get back and get the deal underway again and back in the right direction, seems like it would be 10 years. 10 years for them to actually wait. Now, if they're unsuccessful here, they're not going to wait 10 years. They're just going to kind of move on and do other things, right? What I think is interesting here is the messaging. The messaging would be really strong here, right? So it would mean that any other company that's looking to purchase a major studio or a major company would probably be hit with very similar rules, right? So a lot of companies would be looking at this and going, holy shit, okay, let's just make sure our ducks are lined up in the right way. We've got our ducks lined up in a row. And we know that we're going to be successful before we purchase any sort of gaming company. Xbox has also gone on to say, hey, if it's not Activision, it's other studios. They've got $69 billion, nice, that they want to use. So if it's not Activision, it will be just another, it will be just some sort of other company. What's interesting, though, is speaking of Xbox, after the very successful launch of Redfall, I gotta stop. I gotta turn these goddamn buttons off. I have all these silly buttons in front of me. After the very successful launch of Redfall, it's been a total disaster. It's a real shame. I think a lot of people now, if we were to combine the two, which I think it's part of the conversation, Bethesda was purchased by Xbox. Redfall wasn't great. And now a lot of people are going to be looking to Starfield to see if it's going to be any good. I honestly feel like if Starfield isn't good, if Starfield doesn't blow us out of the water, if it's a buggy mess, or if it's just underwhelming, and they've kind of pitched it as their biggest title that we're going to be seeing for the long foreseeable future, I would spell serious trouble for Xbox. And now I'm not trying to be over dramatic there. Like, I truly think if we don't see this to be an absolute smash out of the park, then there's a very strong track record now of unfinished games with Bethesda, underwhelming AAA first-party exclusives with Xbox and also with Bethesda. Yes, Doom Eternal was great. Fallout 76 wasn't. Rage 2 was like meh. You know, when it comes to Redfall, not great. When it comes to Starfield, that's where everyone's going to be turning their attention. If this isn't really smashing it out of the park, I do think that people are just going to completely switch off from Xbox, like completely. Because after Starfield and after Elder Scrolls in 2040, what else are people really excited for when it comes to Xbox? Like, help me out in the chat. What else are people really excited for? I don't know. Hi-Fi Rush 2? You know what I mean? Are they going to shadow drop that again? And people are going to be like, oh, okay, shit. I'm going to tune in for that shit. One of the headlines I saw was Redfall, good enough for Game Pass. I think we just saw the dawn of a new derogatory term. or a you know, a slight. Yeah, it's good enough for Game Pass. It's good enough for Game Pass. Man. Omar says, Todd is really crazy. Is really kind of crazy. Look, Todd has done some great things. There's no two ways about it. He has been fantastic in creating amazing games. Like Skyrim was buggy as hell, fine. But, you know, it did become a cultural phenomenon. And they ported that game to everything and anything that would allow Skyrim to move. I'm surprised that we haven't got powerful calculators. Well, you know what? We probably do have powerful calculators, right? Playing Skyrim. I know we have them playing Doom. That's for sure. Cavario says, cloud is good if you want to demo a game to see if it's worth downloading. I agree with that. And like, if we're talking about Xbox and cloud, after Starfield comes out and it's not fantastic, I feel like the only thing holding Xbox together, the only thing that is holding Xbox together is the fact that they are kind of they are leading the charge with streaming. They're absolutely leading the charge of streaming, and it's you know, it's the only thing that I can think of that they're actually the market leaders for, you know. And Anza Khan says pregnancy test can run Skyrim. I bet. I wouldn't be surprised. All right, you don't want to see a positive. You're like, oh my god. Positive, and I'm playing Skyrim. Oh, it's the new good enough for government work. I don't know what that means, but the laughing rogue, I agree with you. Why do I agree with you? Just because you're a good dude. That's why. Omar, I play PS2 games on the cloud at 1080 often. The cloud is here to stay. There's no two ways about it. But with Starfield, I want it to be good. That's another thing I wanted to get across. I am not the type that just wants Bethesda games to suffer. Everyone wants a good game, right? Because the meme's fun for the first 10 minutes, but then we're left with a game that's not good. Like Redfield, right? It's not something that people really want. People want a good game. We've been waiting for, what, 4 years now for Starfield? When was it? It feels like 2018, 2019 when Starfield was originally announced. We want this to be good. And we want it to be good. I know I keep harping on about this, but in terms of being competitive in the market with Xbox, it's very important that it is good. The more first party or the more games under Xbox's umbrella in the ecosystem that keeps Xbox relevant and keeps Xbox's selling is good for the industry, good for the consumer. You know, if we see another 5 or 6 consecutive first-party titles from Xbox, AAA first-party titles that are pretty underwhelming, as I said before, it's going to be a very interesting time. Millennial from Twitch says, I want Bethesda games to be good. Fallout 3 is one of my all-time favorites. What about Fallout 76, man? What are you talking about? That's great. Everyone loves Fallout 76. Omar, Ratchet & Clank has been really fun to play, though, on PS Premium. Is that the end? What was the one that they were jumping between? I did a review on it. Yeah, they're jumping between like multiverses and stuff or whatever. Can't even remember the name now. You know what I mean. Idiotic Tirade says PlayStation and GameFly sub better than Xbox Game Pass. Look, Xbox Game Pass is pretty good offering for $15. For $15 a month or whatever. It's a pretty good offering. Rift Between Worlds or something. Millennial, yeah, something like that. Yeah, I can't remember the exact name. Speaking of buggy messes in Bethesda, what about Star Wars? Look at this.
Absolute fantastic performance. Definitely not stuck in a corner. Definitely able to leave corner. Yep. Thank you, EA.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor has been quite the meme. Let's be honest here. It is a good game though. I'm like 5 or 6 hours in. I'm enjoying it. I'm not seeing as many issues. I am seeing frame rates, but I've only seen one bug that when I went to the bench to try and change my lightsaber, it just like froze for like a minute. And I was like, fuck, okay, this is not working. I have to obviously reset my PC. But it just had kind of fixed itself. It kind of fixed itself. But the memes have been fantastic.
But I'm done at this point, dude. 22 frames, bro. Fuck Respawn, fuck EA. How they could sell this for $80 is insanity. Like, you motherfucking knew this game is bad. People on Steam know it's bad. And from what I've heard, it's not much better on the PS5 and Xbox Series S and X.
Yeah, so look, I saw a comment on Twitter and it was like, at the very beginning of a game's release, you're paying the highest price for the lowest quality because it gets cheaper as it goes on and the game gets better. That's so true. I never really thought of it like that. You're paying the highest premium because it's just come out and you're paying for a game that's going to be at its lowest quality. You know how patches happen and whatever, right? Some games are perfect when they come out, but most games like this, kind of, there's a little bit of bits and pieces they need to fix and whatever. Day one patches. Jedi Survivor's day one patch was like 100 gigs, man. It was a hell of a lot of a patch. Big patch. Big patch. JT says, question, what if game devs just ask the main community, just ask people what type of game the community wants to be made without the smoke and mirrors and code names, just a game the community wanted? Yeah, I know what you're trying to say there, but I feel like they're always trying to keep their finger on the pulse and trying to deliver something that people will want to play. No developer wants to bring out a game that they feel like is missing the mark in terms of the trend. But I know what you mean by like Project Ragtag. It's like, just tell me it's a goddamn Star Wars game and tell me what the working title name is. Like, that's okay. Or maybe Project Ragtag, is the working title. A bit of transparency, folks. And as I said yesterday, transparency is key with developers. If you allow me to know that the game is slightly buggy at launch, and you need to release it because the powers at B tell you that you need to do it, that you need to release this game, it's gone gold, you have no say here, then you can come out and say, you know what, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm the developer, and I'm here to tell you that the game's not great, and we're going to release it anyway. I will play that game and feel a bit better about playing it. Regardless of what buggy state it's in, I know what I've gotten into. I know what I've purchased. I've purchased it knowing full well that there was going to be some bugs. Man, that would be such a good marketing plan for them. I'm not even kidding. In the chat, let me know if you know anyone, any game developer that's ever done that. As I said yesterday, I don't think we could think of anyone, right? The Spaz, that's why I wait a year or two before I pick up a game. Man, that is a long time. That is a long goddamn time. So you're going to be playing Ragnarok in 2024? 2025 or something? Worth the wait. It's worth the wait, my friend. I would say don't go on Twitter for the next 2 years though. You don't want any spoilers. You don't want any spoilers. You'll be playing Elder Scrolls 6 in 2057. Okay. If you can hold out that long. If it gets released at all in the 2050s. That's a lie, dude. The consumer base is not that understanding. The Spaz, I understand what you're saying. When I make that remark, that is not including that people would ultimately say, oh my god, it's a buggy mess, this is shit. Absolutely. I understand that there'd be a lot of conversation on Twitter saying, oh my god, this game's gonna be shit. Absolutely. What I'm saying is, people that still want to jump on for the ride, which majority of people would, if they are excited for the game. That's what I mean. If it's an unknown title, unknown IP, and a developer comes out and says that, that's a harder road. But if Jedi Survivor, which everyone is excited for, comes out and the developer comes out and says, hey guys, we've got a bit of a road ahead. It's a bit buggy. Most people are going to be so excited for the game, they're still going to go on for the ride, and it would change the conversation slightly. But absolutely, I understand what you're saying. There would definitely be people out there that still would make it very loudly known that, hey, don't buy this game, boycotting this game. Like, that would absolutely happen still. The spaz much later. I'm just giving all the attention to the spaz today. Much later, I have not even started the first God of War. Man, get out of my chat. What the hell are you doing? I haven't finished God of War Ragnarok. I really should. I'm maybe 8 hours in or something. I've got to do it. Jay Ali says, Sam, will you be buying the PS5 Pro? I did see the rumors of that. I was going to cover that maybe tomorrow. Rumors is the dev kits are already sent out to first-party devs. Now, we can just talk about it now. Why not? I definitely think I'll buy one of those. But, I mean, here's the thing. I'm kind of happy with my current one. I'd have to, like, trade it in and upgrade and stuff like that. That's something that I'll do in the future, but I won't be, like, doing it day one. Very different from me to, like, buy the next generation of console compared to just buying a small iteration in that next console generation. So in that regard, like, I'm not going to be buying it straight away. But hey, I think it's cool to see that we're already kind of getting into that midlife cycle of a generation where we're going to start seeing pros. And as they've done last time with the previous generation, they were very much about, no, we're not going to allow the PS5 and the PS4 and the PS4 Pro to have separate games. I'm sure they're going to be doing the same thing here. Which is good, right? Because that means that everyone that doesn't have a Pro can still play. But I wonder what they're going to be doing with the PS5 Pro. That's going to make it feel like you're getting that kind of even more premium experience. What's going to happen with Xbox Series X Pro? Are you going to get 40 FPS on Redfall? 40 FPS on Redfall. That'd be kind of cool, right? I think that'd be pretty damn cool. Is buying a console for a single game still a thing? I think it's still a thing. Yep. Yep. I think if you were thinking of purchasing a console and you're waiting for the right time, then waiting for a bundle, people would do that. Like Spider-Man came out and with PS4, the Spider-Man bundle or whatever, or the God of War bundle, or the God of War Ragnarok bundle. Death Stranding, for instance, a lot of people were hyped for that. I don't think people are going to be like walking down the street never wanting to play any consoles and they're like, oh my God, this game's coming out. I'm going to like buy $700 worth of console and games. But what they probably would do is think, okay, I've been wanting to buy a console for some time. This is the game that I've been waiting for. I'll buy it as a bundle. You know? That kind of makes sense for me. You want to see some other memes from Star Wars? So apparently if you do the camera mode, they're standing there, right? They're standing there. And then they're gone. They're just gone. But if you do it again, they're back. They're ready to go again. They're ready for the Balenciaga photo shoot. They know what they're doing. They want to be there for it. This is great. Very emotional moment. Oh man, I actually haven't watched this whole thing, so I don't want to like do spoilers, but I'll just do those. Oh, is it Espanol? Jedi Survivor. I saw this a couple of days ago. Why not? Like, look at the user score, man. It's just horrendous. It's just horrendous. Should we do one more little bug? I love bugs. I love the bugs. Let's do this one. What's this one? He's just impenetrable. You will take me to the You will take me to Palpatine. Wouldn't work on him. Wouldn't work. Oh god. Well, he's ready to go. And you know what? He's given up. Cal's just like, nah, this force doesn't work on him. He's too strong. He's way too strong. And EA did come out with, a couple of days ago now, they did come out saying, hey guys, we're aware that the Star Wars Jedi Survivor isn't performing to our standard for a percentage of our PC players. For a percentage. Actually, you know what? It is a kind of a percentage because I haven't had that many issues on a 3080. But most people, to say that a percentage, I mean, they're using the percentage. Of course they are, 99% of people. I mean, of course, how silly of me. In particular, those with high-end machines or certain specific configurations. It's kind of strange that the powerful machines are apparently having the issues. So the toasters are fine. It's just the ones that should be easily able to handle this. They're the ones having the issue here. Ethan, Sam, good to see you live, man. Good to see you too, brother. You guys should like the stream. Omar, I agree. Like the stream and also do the bell notification because I think a lot of the issue is people don't see that I'm going live. Live. Bell notification, we all get to hang out. Ethan, 95% of PC players. Exactly right. That's absolute nonsense. Apparently, the same level of care that was given to HBO's The Last of Us will apply for the God of War and Horizon live adaptations, Sony says. I have no doubt that's going to happen now. As we saw, it's been one hell of a ride for HBO's Last of Us. It's been fantastic. I loved it. Did a review, and that was the first kind of video I did coming back here. I think that the God of War, I don't know if they've actually got their main protagonist. I know that in terms of who's playing the role, I'm like, who's going to be the main protagonist? Maybe it's going to be Kratos. I don't think Chris Judge is getting the role, though. I know he was very vocal on Twitter. He was like, hey, give me the role. And I'd love to see Chris Judge do this. He did a fantastic performance. You know, he's got the build for it too. Like, he's so like just, he's a strong male protagonist. Gruff male protagonist. I'd love to see that, you know. And I think he's got the voice for it, clearly. And he's got the experience of the character. Not to mention, he's got the community behind him. Of like, we've already experienced 2 games with him playing it. Well, me, 1.5. I haven't finished Ragnarok. But you know, a lot of people have kind of settled in to his character, his approach, his voice, his mannerisms as Kratos, because it's all mocap. So I want to see more of that with Chris Judge. I'd love to see that. Vin Diesel, someone says in the bathroom at work. In Vin Diesel, I would not want to see. No way in hell. I'm sorry, but I just, you know, it's all about family with Vin. Okay, it's all about family, and he's doing the Fast and the Furious 17 or something, and there's way too many Fast and Furious. I'm just not a fan of Fast and Furious. I don't know, I've watched a couple of them, but it just feels like The Walking Dead. Just like, let it die. Just end it. End it, man. You know? Mark from Facebook, good to have you back again, fam. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you. Leo says 2 p.m.? What's 2 p.m.? What are we talking about now? Is DSP gonna announce? What's DSP? I don't know what that is, but come back to me with what that means. No, Vin. Yes, Chris. Absolutely. Chris would absolutely nail this. I mean, we've already seen the proven track record. I want to see that. Now, I thought we'd watch a trailer together, guys. Let's see if I can do it here, and it's going to show enough on here, though. I think that's too big.
We're close to Rubicon. Wake the dog up.
Handler Walter verified. Activating cerebral coral control device. Augmented human C4621 has awakened.
I'm not really into like these mech games, but this looks sick.
infamous handler Walter's hounds. Interesting. You ready to climb the wall?
Call sign Raven. Priority subject for termination. High on the list.
A coral response from the generator. Watch out.
Why hide behind another's call sign?
I think that looks kind of sick, right?
Let's see how far they can fly. On borrowed wings.
On borrowed wings. Armored Core 6. So, like, it's not really a thing that I'm usually into, to be honest, but, like, that looks kind of goddamn cool. I think that looks really cool, actually. Do we know what kind of combat real-time turn strategy? Are we talking about this game? I feel like this is going to be like one of those mech games where all the missiles are flying and shit, and you're just like, remember Zone of Enders? Did you guys ever play Zone of Enders? Dude, Zone of Enders was mad. It was a Konami game. That was a Hideo Kojima game. Zone of Enders. PS2, I remember. One of the early PS2 games. That's what I think about when I think of this. Zone of Enders, man. I really hope they don't just do a Mecha Souls. Really, to see them try different mechanics and style. Here's the thing, right? FromSoft is like Souls, and anything else, I would find it hard to like. This is my personal take. You guys may think something different, but they've mastered the Souls genre. It makes sense for them to like double down on what they know and bring that into different kind of worlds and aesthetically, mechanically, like. I just think that's cool, right? I just want to see how they kind of handle that. So if it's an extremely hard game, I'd love to see that. Yes, it was a Kojima game indeed. Absolutely, yeah. Zone of Enders was mad, Omar. Absolutely. It was sick. Remember that weird song at the start that was actually flipped around? Good song. Good song. I love that all you are Zone of Enders appreciation people. That's great. I'm in New York, 2 p.m. Is it 2 p.m. in New York? Live from New York. Ninja Gaiden fighting is better than Souls. Look, I don't know, man. Souls pretty good. Elden Ring especially. What else happening? Okay, this is funny, man. Look at this. The Witcher, 202,000 downvotes for The Witcher 3 season 3. Now, I want to talk about this, right? Liam Hemsworth taking over from for Geralt. I think, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like it's just the character now is so set up, and I don't know. I don't know. People are going to tune in for it. I think he's probably a very good. He's a good actor, right? Like he's done a lot of good things. He did the Hunger Games, I think. You know, he married Miley Cyrus, so maybe he's like, all right, I'm ready. I've dealt with all sorts of shit here, you know. I'm ready for the Witcher world. Oh man, divorces are not good. All right, we shouldn't joke about divorces, okay? But can you imagine them two together? That would have been crazy. And look, I wish him the best with this, but I would say that the general I think Henry Cavill is kind of the bee's knees when it comes to his portrayal of Geralt. So if they're going to be doing this, I don't know if it's going to work. And they may only just do one season. They may only just do season 4 with him, with Liam Hemsworth. And if it doesn't work, maybe they'll just walk away. I think Henry Cavill not agreeing with them going off the source material is a perfectly fine reason to walk away from that. And if anything, it just solidifies in a lot of fans' minds that he was the right person for the job. Not to say that you can't go off script to make sure it works cinematically, right? Because sometimes that's important. You can't always deliver what a book wants to say or a game wants to say through and kind of, you know, translate it into cinema. You need to make some changes sometimes. But I'd be very surprised to see if this lands as well as the first 3 seasons. Well, the first 2 seasons, sorry. I'm guessing season 3 is great. That's what we're hoping for. And also, actually, that's very true, Miles. Henry Cavill is a gamer Chad. He is a gamer Chad. Builds his own PCs. Recently came out and said he'd much prefer to stay in and just game all night than go out and party. I mean, dude, he is a gamer. That's exactly what I would say. You know, I have been quoted as someone that's, what is it? Thick Boy said I was very socially capable, but very socially uninclined. That's what he says. Can't be bothered. Rather play games. Okay. Joshu says the Witcher show got ruined by the woke media. Well, we're not going to go there. But I will say that, if anything, it's probably going to get ruined by them changing Geralt. And like, when they change, what's going to be magic? Like, they're just going to go, diddle-diddle-diddle. Oh, Geralt's changed what he looks like. And Geralt's going to be like, oh, I had to because I was getting chased by monsters and I had to change what I look like. And they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Well, this is the new Geralt. Like, it's magic. It makes sense. It's just written into the script. Of course it's going to make sense. Warhammer 40k, Gamer Chad. Yeah, I think he's going to do his next thing, I think, with Warhammer 40k. And I'd love to see what that is. Absolutely. The first few seasons of Game of Thrones was pretty damn faithful adaptation. Well, they had to go off script naturally because all the books weren't done. And I thought House of Dragons was fantastic. Like, I really loved House of Dragons. I thought it was sick. Speaking of sick, I thought this was pretty cool. I think this is going to get copyright struck and maybe blocked, but YOLO.
Remember, just feel it.
All right.
You're on Kobo. The Mogul Wampa thing is coming. You're not scared. Show me focus. Good. You're not playing baseball.
Right.
You will take me to the senator now.
I love Mark Hamill.
Less wrist.
Less wrist.
Mark,
Less wrist.
I don't actually have the force.
It's very important. Not too much wrist, folks.
BD1 says no excuses. Hold it. You get 2 lightsabers?
Well, technically 1, but I can split them.
You never gave me 2 lightsabers.
Mark?
Oh, hell yeah. See, it looks... it's so well marketed, this game. Hang on. Is that an Xbox controller? Oh, you guys can't see, Devo. Is that an Xbox controller? Let me just... Oh my god, that's an Xbox controller. Ladies and gentlemen. Is Xbox saying... are they saying that Xbox is the preferred console for this? Holy shit, man. That's... Star Wars throwing some shade on PlayStation.
I use your force powers to pull that sphere.
I really don't need you to explain the Force to me.
I think that's great. He is a very good Joker. He is a great Joker. I do like his Joker voice. I think he's great. And it's very hard, I think, to change now. What was the Batman? He recently passed away. Damn it. I followed him on Twitter. I can't remember his name now. Man, it'll be very hard to follow that up. He did the Batman voice for like 30 years or something. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do there, but Mark Hamill has really proven himself to not only be an icon in Star Wars, be a great actor, but also be a great voice actor. He does heaps of different voice actors. He does heaps of different voices in kind of the voice acting world. Joshua says, wish Star Wars is a bit darker. Everything feels too Marvel. Well, I don't know. Like, Star Wars inherently does feel like it has a bit of a sheen, like a PG sheen to it. Not saying that it can't have an R-rated. I would like to see them try that in the future, absolutely, but they've definitely stuck to a very Disney-esque way of doing it. That's for sure. Kevin Conroy, that's right. Thank you. Thank you, Poisey. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, the Spaz, Kevin Conroy, yeah, he was absolutely the Chad. Analyst says Microsoft will acquire other studios if Activision Blizzard deals fails. Now, look, I just want to throw this in quickly just to say that it's so clear, and other people are saying it too, that we haven't heard the end of Xbox trying to acquire more studios. All they've been doing in the last 5 years is just trying to buy as many studios as possible. They're trying to make it work. And look, I'm for one definitely in the camp of if you need to acquire additional studios to try and stay competitive, I'd love to see that. Don't want to spend too much time on that. Just saying that it's definitely in the wind that they're going to be trying to do that. Who would it be, though? Who would it be? EA, Ubisoft, FromSoft, lol. Now, this is also off the back of that. Now, Sony had its biggest Q1 for any console in history. In history now, they've sold 38 million consoles. It's been a very good time for Sony for the last 10 years. Really. A very good time. A very good time. The most mature Star Wars product is Andor. I really want to watch Andor. I was thinking of actually watching it and then doing it like a review, even if it came out like 3 months ago or some shit, or however long ago. I definitely do want to play that. Ubisoft, yeah, someone says, Chris says Ubisoft has been prepping for a buyout for a while already. Absolutely, it has. Absolutely. And it's in, I wouldn't say it's in trouble, but I think how it just kind of, just amalgamated everything into this one product where like we need to make it live service. We need to like just make it the same thing for all our IP so we can just push it as a live service, push it as much as possible to jam microtransactions or jam XP boosters and shit. You know, they've tried to do that stuff, and I think it's been really at the detriment of their entire company and their entire brand. This is interesting, right? Cyberpunk 2077 players will get a chance to try before you buy. Now, it's been pretty vague in what that means, and that's the expansion, Phantom Liberty. But it sounds like they're going to give some... Okay, either they're going to give people hands-on experiences at PAX, or maybe they're just going to be releasing kind of a way that a lot of influencers can play it well before it comes out so they can review it and talk about it so people will know what they're expecting. Or we may see a demo for this. We may see a demo for Phantom Liberty, so that's kind of interesting, and I kind of want to see what that is. We reviewed it, of course, when it came out, and I still retain that it is a good game. It just was a horribly buggy mess at the beginning. And if it didn't have those bugs, it would definitely be ranked as one of the greater games of the previous generation. It just kind of hurt its shelf. Interesting. Who wants to see some AI? Now, look at this thing right now. This is going around. Someone said, Hollywood is done for. You might not believe me, but this is AI generated. It's so clearly AI generated. But anyway, let's have a look at
In a world of glamour and intrigue where nothing is quite as it seems, one chance encounter leads to a night of unforgettable adventure and romance.
The music, the atmosphere. It's like stepping into a whimsical dream.
Care to dance and make this dream even more enchanting, madame?
Featuring stunning dance performances, unexpected twists, and a touch of feline elegance.
Feline elegance?
This whimsical and captivating romantic comedy set in the glamorous 1930s era is sure to sweep you off your feet.
This night just keeps getting more and more peculiar.
Well, they do say that curiosity killed the cat. But in this case, it seems to have given it a double life.
From the visionary creator of Taste of Duality comes a movie that will leave you spellbound and craving more. Get ready to experience the magic of The Great Cat Spy. A celebration of passion, humor, and the pursuit of the perfect romance. Coming soon to a screen near you.
I don't know about you, but I want to see The Great Gatsby. I want to see it. People know that this is AI because look at the hands. The hands are always just weird, right? Like, they just don't know how to do hands. They just have not figured it out. Like that weird hand at the beginning grabbing the, where is it? What? There it is. That thing. What is that hand? It's my strong hand. See what I mean? There's definitely some weirdness there. AI though, it's getting good. It's getting very good. It's getting pretty damn good. I reckon in as I said before, 5 years time, we're not going to know the difference. We're not going to know the difference. And if a small studio that is trying to promote a movie or a short film, or they're trying to get a concept off the ground, or they're trying to show something for a studio to back them financially, AI seems like the most financially reasonable thing to do, right? Like it just makes sense financially for them to put together an AI trailer, and then that can be shown to these studios. And also, if you're trying to if you're a small-time music artist and you need to make some sort of film clip, AI is already happening. People are already trying to do that for like psychedelic-looking AI music videos, but this is going to be in the future too. Abdul says, fuck it, I'm watching this. I would watch this, The Great Gatsby. I would absolutely. Omar says, I'm captivated. I am out. Me too. If this came out, I'd watch it. Movies feel like they're made by AI anyway. Look, I would say that for a long time now, look, I would say the worst AI I think I've ever seen in today. Well, remember Scorpion King? That looked like it was AI. Okay? The Rock looked like he was AI. Little did we know that wasn't AI. That was just very bad CGI. That was just terrible CGI. Speaking of more AI, look, this is people growing things in the field. If it wasn't made, it was just grown. Ice cream in the sun. Ice cream in the sun. I mean, that makes sense, right? Yeah, of course. That's what you got to do. It's the only way to do it. So the ice cream needs the heat, so it grows. Absolutely. More just like looking at Redfall at 30 FPS. I mean, it's just such a shame. Redfall. Who's played Redfall? I want to know who's been playing Redfall. I mean, has anyone played Redfall in the chat? I haven't played it yet. I'm just enjoying the memes and the glitches. We're going to be doing some more glitch stuff, of course, in the coming days once we see more of it. The Rock is AI. I think when was peak Rock? I think when he was presenting for Xbox and he looked like one of those hitmen, like one of those hired goons in in John Wick. That's peak Rock. Now, actually, I didn't see the farm hands. I actually want to see that. See? I mean, those hands look a bit better. Those hands do look a bit better, actually, for AI. I'm not even kidding. They actually look like real hands. Interesting. Very interesting. Apparently now, with deep learning, they've been able to get Jedi Survivor from 40 FPS to 90 FPS. This is the thing that doesn't make sense to me, right? You release a game and then like modders and like people that are like part of the community that aren't in the studios that like seemingly would have not as much talent, right? Because they're not, you know, they're not working on some AAA game, but they're just gaming enthusiasts. They're seemingly able to get this game in a higher frame rate. Now, I say not as much talent in inverted commas, but we know that there's plenty of talented people out there that just like to play games and don't want to make them. Yeah, it's not looking good for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's just trying to survive right now. It's just, that's why they called it this. They're like, can we survive the initial 2 or 3 weeks of just this absolute barrage of buggy videos, memes, and downvotes? Ah, dear. Did you see the Skyrim AI chat GBT mod? I did see that, actually. I wouldn't mind covering that maybe in tomorrow's episode. Definitely. Definitely. That's kind of cool, right? That you can just have endless dialogue with Skyrim. You know, you're finally awake. I want to just hear that over and over again. That's what I want to hear. This is actually kind of cool.
This summer, Wes Anderson brings you a side of the Star Wars universe you've never seen before, the Galactic Menagerie. Join this ragtag crew of unlikely heroes as they navigate the absurdity of the cosmos, challenge the Empire, and redefine what it means to be a rebel.
Our mission is simple. We steal the Emperor's artifact, save the galaxy, and maybe find ourselves along the way.
For this mission, we'll need lightsaber, blaster, thermal detonator, paper airplanes, spare parts.
Paper airplanes, very important.
With a star-studded ensemble featuring the galaxy's most eccentric cast, the Galactic Menagerie is the most delightfully offbeat Star Wars adventure yet. Starring Timothée Chalamet, Scarlett Johansson, Edward Norton, Bill Murray, Jeff Goldblum, William Dafoe, Adrian Brody, and Owen Wilson. Wow. Coming to theaters this summer, may the Force be with you.
I think that's great. I mean, there's so much AI memes, jokes, trailers though, but like this is funny, but it also shows you, right, like some very exciting stuff's on the horizon to see, like concepts and whatever. And who knows, I mean, an AI trailer could be made and it can very well be the birthplace of an idea that actually is made into something on the big screen. I think that's pretty cool. This one is pretty bad. No, I don't agree with you. I think this is great. Totally great. Owen Wilson as Darth Vader though. I'd like to see that. Absolutely. Ah, man. Now, this is interesting, right? So Google was confirmed as the second main antagonist against the Microsoft Activision merger, which is interesting. So they had their own plans, of course, to be in the cloud gaming space, and they didn't make it work. They obviously are still very threatened by Microsoft and them continuing to grow, and maybe Google has its own plans to continue to try and be in the gaming space. But yeah, it seems like that was also definitely getting in the way. I thought it was just Sony, but no. It was also Google. Maybe they just combined forces, like Goni. Sony and Google, Goni. Sounds like gonads. Yep, gonads got together and they made sure it wasn't going to happen. Okay, they just didn't want it to happen. No. Satnav says hyper-fast cloud gaming is the future. Absolutely, it is. And Stadia is not going to be there for that. Stadia. Omar says, AI is amazing for people who enjoy bad things. I mean, that in earnest. I really enjoy the jank of AI stuff. It makes me giggle. Absolutely. We're definitely in the janky phase at the moment for AI. We're going to get to the stage where the jankiness is no longer a thing. And then we'll return to the jankiness almost as a bit of irony, going back, looking at it, making things in the future, but making it look janky. That's going to happen. Absolutely. Now, some patch notes that were released yesterday. If you guys are playing Jedi Survivor, it's slowly being fixed for PC, Xbox Series X, and PS5. So they're trying the best. But, you know, I, for one, because I haven't experienced the multiple crashes and the horrendous bugs, I am not paying as much attention to this. But naturally, people that do need this, I wanted to include this. So there's light at the end of the tunnel for everyone that's trying to play this goddamn game. Very important. Okay, this is the first Star Wars canon toilet. Okay, a canonical toilet. Is that how I say it? A canonical toilet. Part of the canon. Okay. Star Wars toilet. There it is. That's what they use. All right. They have to use the Force to get it out. God, the Force is strong with this one. And then when they get it out, they obviously... Look, they got two separate areas too, you see. Okay, this is for the front, this is for the back. This is a man's toilet. Okay, this is a male toilet. Oh, mercy. And I don't know what this thing does, though. Not sure what this thing does. Is this like a vacuum cleaner toilet paper thing or something? Or is this like a gas mask? You're like, oh my God. Oh, it's terrible. May the Force be with me. Jesus. Oh, this smells worse than that garbage chute on the Death Star. Jesus. Didn't The Mandalorian have one in the premiere episode? I didn't know, actually. I'm not sure, but this is apparently the first time we've seen a toilet in Star Wars. I may be wrong. World renowned. Hi Sam. Just discovered you yesterday that you're back, and I had nostalgia overload. Missed you, and have so many great Laymen memories. I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for being here. And before we finish up, Pedro Pascal, the daddy himself, is in talks to be in Gladiator. Gladiator 2, man. I don't know if Ridley Scott is directing it or if he's just the executive producer. They are making a Gladiator 2, and what is Pedro going to be the main? Is he going to be the Spartan? I don't know, man. I mean, I feel like he's becoming like Kevin Bacon or whatever, you know, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. He's just in everything now. You know, I'd be surprised. I'd be interested to see what he does with this. But like Gladiator, look, you know what? He's done it when he was, he did a role similar to that with Game of Thrones. What was that guy's name again in Game of Thrones? Got his eyes like, ugh. I don't remember what his name was now. But anyway, he can do the role. He can do the role. Absolutely. That is to say, if he has that type of role. Or maybe he's just a supporting cast member that has a lot of lines. Satnav, £5. Appreciate you, man. Multi-species toilet, great content, like classic Layman. Appreciate you, man. That toilet definitely looked like it had a front and a back for the men. Or the aliens that have something at the front and something at the back. Okay, so, you know, is that big enough for Chewie? Is that big enough for Chewie? I think so. Jabba the Hutt? Don't know if he can fit on that. Maybe that's where the suction thing is. He can't sit on it, so he just has to get that thing and clean it up with that. Very important questions to answer. Very important question. Lastly, man, Redfall reviews looking good. Looking good. Better than I thought, though. Better than I thought. I will say that. It's been an absolute meme, and it's been fun to watch. Let's face it, it's been fun to watch. Benjamin said he's more Spaniard than Crow. Actually, that's true. Oberon. Oberon. That's right, Gaines. Thank you very much. That's right. That's right. Yeah, so Redfall's been a complete meme. We've loved it every step of the way. And I've loved your time every step of the way too, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bell icon, turn it on, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. We'll be back probably tomorrow with more news, reviews, and discussions. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for the super chat and all the chat in the chat. Appreciate you. And I'll see you guys next time. Laymen out.